Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Welcome again. You have clicked on, this time, Chesterton's fence in health. How does Chesterton's fence relate to health? Well, for those wondering quickly what Chesterton's fence is all about, it's more of a political case where you're in a field with your partner, a business partner, live-in partner, whatever, and you come across this fence. What is this fence here for? One partner says, well, rip it out because it's not keeping in anything. Just rip it out. And the other partner would say, well, it's got to be here for a reason. What if something else comes by later? That sort of thing. So how Chesterton's fence would relate in health is, and just quickly, the reason why I indicate it's political is because the Conservative would keep the fence there. Ooh, we don't know what's around. You know, they're border sensitive, safety conscious, ostracizing, that sort of thing. Where the left or liberals, it's an old institution, it's not needed anymore, it's restrictive, it's not needed, that sort of thing. So with health, politicizing health. Ooh. Chesterton's fence in health. Well, we've always eaten this way. Our prehistoric history would suggest that carnivore/keto is best. 1 meal a day is fine. That's all you need to survive. That sort of thing. Where the other side, the vegans, we have land security. We can grow crops year round, especially with globalized food supply, that sort of thing. And we can be vegan too, right? So vegans are pulling the fence down. The carnivores are keeping the fence. How did we get here? And then the vegans would suggest that, living that keto life that we did in 1900, we only lived to the age of 40. Well, a more qualified response would be, well, there was still octogenarians walking around. Per 10,000 people, there was about 25 centenarians that lived. Yes, our life expectancy is around 80, just under that, but let's say 80, and we've doubled our life expectancy. Well, easy pickings. Reduce your infant mortality rate by 95, 99%, and yes, your life expectancy will be boosted. But instead of 25 out of 10,000 people reaching the age of 100, we now have 1 person in 10,000 that are centenarians. So that's how a reaction will come to that. A challenge for an older style of eating is, which is already indicated. Yes, we ate that way, but our life expectancy was 40. But it's complicated. They should also suggest its infant mortality rates and that sort of thing, and look at we are very crop-based with our processed foods. Most of our processed foods are crop-based, rapeseed oil, wheat, and the like. So the reason why we got to the average age of 80s because of boxed cornflakes when cereals came out and that sort of thing. And then the carnivores and the keto type people would suggest, look at our chronic disease rate, look at our obesity rate and our chronic, our metabolic syndrome numbers, right? So Chesterton's fence also, the argument is fought out in health. So how do you resolve the issue with Chesterton's fence? And also how it relates to health, whether you should be plant-based or keto, and then intermittent fast, or whatever the diatribe that you're diverging to. Well, accept the risk. Take on as much information as you can. Usually taking in information will suggest prejudice or bias. When someone doesn't quite like vegetables, they'll get onto this keto or carnivore thing, suggesting, ooh, eggs are fine, meat is fine, ooh, bacon, oh, butter, oh, that's it, I'm carnivore. And be careful of your biases. Be careful, which is, the equivalent in seeing that fence. It's an ugly fence. I just want to take it out. That's the bias. It's ugly. So with the functional people, well, they would suggest keto people, carnivore, got higher rates of early death. I'm not sure of that. I'm not even going to subscribe to it. The vegan people look hideous at age 60 if they've been vegan for more than 20 years. I saw a couple of weeks back this reel on social media. This chap was 39-year-old and he looked perhaps 50, 55. And yeah, some of the comments were pretty amusing. Anyway, then you get the slender, emaciated vegans, then you get the fat vegans, all that sort of thing. But you also get the gluttonous carnivores and ketos, the people that gravitate to the keto thing and they eat all this cheese and drop off the wagon, right? Yeah. So Chesterton's fence is the idea of whether you keep the fence or take it down, whether you choose keto, carnivore, or plant-based, understand that it's your decision. And whatever decision you make, to tear it down or to keep this particular fence, this particular diet that you're on, there could be complications in whatever decision you make. And here's my 2 bobs worth. Whatever decision you make in the diatribe that you want to belong to, I don't like the idea of killing animals, therefore you're now a vegan. Hey, that's fine. But the risks are, and there's risks there for the carnivores and ketos too, don't you worry. Vitamin B12, calcium, the amounts that we need, amino acids, the amounts that we need. How are you going to break it down? There's anti-nutrient lectin type crowd. Many lectins can be cooked out of food, just like beans and that sort of thing. Like I've seen somewhere that lentils and beans, when you boil them, 95% of the lectins are gone, the anti-nutrients, right? So, and for the carnivores, if you like bacon, no wonder the cancer rates are going to be quite hefty with the carnivore and keto crowd, because they hoe into the bacon. It's superheated. Heterocyclic amines, acrylamides, trans fats are um, are created in this superheat and being too well done. Crispy bacon, people. Even overdoing like anywhere from medium rare and up in your red meat equivalent also creates that whole circulatory system issues with the trans fats, heterocyclic amines, acrylamides, and there's all these other processes when you overdo your meat, and so they're not out of the woods too. So for the carnivores out there, medium rare and below. Oh, yes, yes. No, also with the bacon people, nitrites. For the people that eat those lunch hams and the spam and the prosciutto and the corned beef and the spam. Did I say spam? Salami people. Nitrates. Nitrites is an issue. It's a major carcinogen, worse than smoking, worse than sitting is the new smoking. Okay? So the carnivores are not out of the woods yet. There is a risk of, or a burden of keeping the way things have always been, prehistoric wise and even near history. There's a consequence for perhaps, or a burden to keep that fence, to keep how we used to eat. The vegans, well, we've had cultivation, farming, civilized farming for 10,000 years, or certainly during recorded history, 5,000 years. And as a bit of a challenge to that, well, we also had pellagra, rickets, scurvy, those old-time sort of diseases out there with even with plant-based diets, because living in a city, meat becomes quite expensive to gain because it goes off very fast and it's very difficult to process meat to a populace of 500,000, 1 million plus people, bringing in all that meat, and yes, it gets expensive. So people did fill their calories with grains, didn't they? And it became part of our culture, breaking bread, religious ceremonies and the like. Okay, so there was risks and burdens in our diets throughout history. Here comes my bit to increase our longevity efficacy. Is my own regimen that I'm proposing for the world. The Health 44, health and longevity happens when you do the 44. Take away 90+% of the supermarket. We've got to quit glutens, oils, sugars, nitrites, those 4 food categories out. If you like some of those food categories, that will be all sorted once you take in the second 4 of the 44. You bring in the 4 classes of micronutrients. There is 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids, and then your pica, your cravings, not so much hunger, will be gone. Your relationship with the cakes and the pizzas and the biscuit this and the salty such and such that will be gone. Will be gone. Happened for me, and if it's not happening, you are still perhaps micronutrient deficient. Your body isn't smart enough to slap you across the face and then lead you by the ear to that particular bit of lettuce that has some selenium in it, for example. So to improve the issue of Chesterton's fence in health, I suggest doing the Health 44 to enhance our likelihood of getting into our centenarian years. And there's my bit. There's my contribution to whatever diet you choose, whether you keep or knock down that Chesterton's fence, there are burdens or risks in your diet, but it will be lessened with the Health 44 supplementing, okay? And added on top of the Health 44, which is part of the Health 44, is understand digestion. Don't drink 30 minutes pre-meals, during, or 90 minutes post-meals as a guide. Little sips here and there will be okay within those time frames. And depending if it's 2 ounces, 3 ounces of liquid, that sort of thing. There's a sliding scale, but that's a good guide. Be hydrated before the meal, and then you can drink the 90 minutes post-meal. The absorption comes with particularly getting off glutens. It takes a while for the villi in the small intestine to recuperate, and then you'll be absorbing even the supplements that you are even taking now, and you won't be craving those junk foods, and you'll be within no time slim, svelte, and like me. So there's the Health 44. That's the remedy to the burden or the risk of Chesterton's fence in health. Keto, carnivore, vegan, plant-based, pescatarian, whatever. So there it is. I think I've made my point. Hopefully I'll get more than my 2.2 regulars. Bye-bye for now.